What if the version of you that you've been dreaming of is just on the other side of one courageous yes? Not the people-pleasing yes, not the hustle yes. I'm talking about the kind of yes that cracks something open deep inside you and starts a whole new story. Welcome to the Balanced Hormone Solution Podcast. If you're a woman, 35 plus, feeling exhausted, struggling to lose weight, and wondering where your libido went, this is for you. I am Tracy Aaron, a functional medicine practitioner who helps women balance their hormones naturally without prescriptions, guesswork, or trendy nonsense. Because here's the truth. Your symptoms aren't random. They're signals. And if you know how to listen, you can fix the root cause and start feeling like yourself again. If you're ready for real solutions, let's get to it. This is the Balanced Hormone Solution Podcast, and I am your host, Tracy Aaron, a registered nurse and hormone health strategist helping women 35 plus feel like themselves again. You would not believe how rare that is today. On this show, we are going to decode your symptoms, ditch the Band-Aids, and finally get you the real answers that you've been craving. So if you're ready to stop thriving and start thriving, let's get into it. Have you ever had a moment where you knew you were being called to do something bold, but fear started shouting louder than your intuition? I have been there. And let me tell you, every time I have said a resounding yes to myself, especially when it felt scary or impractical, or even selfish, something powerful deep inside me shifted. So today we're going to talk about what happens when you stop waiting for permission and start giving it to yourself. So whether that's saying yes to hiring a coach, launching something new, investing in your health, or simply choosing rest over hustle, this episode is your reminder that you are worth that leap. I remember the first time that I invested in a high-ticket business mentorship. My hand was literally shaking as I typed in my credit card number. Because let's face it, there's a million reasons not to do something like that. I was already juggling 5 kids, a business from home, a very full life. But I also knew this. I'd hit a ceiling that I couldn't break through alone. I could see where I wanted to be, but I didn't know the exact steps I needed to take in order to get there. I had done podcasts, I'd read the books, I downloaded all the free things. But what I really needed was support, accountability, structure, belief. And guess what? That scary yes became the moment that everything changed. Not just my business, but me and my identity. I stopped playing small and I started owning my voice. And I saw the same thing reflected in my clients who came to me with the same kind of fear and trepidation with the big looming question, will this work for me? Those clients who said yes to their own healing. In a sense, we're going through that same journey together. It's just looking a little bit different. But number one, saying yes requires courage, not certainty. And this is where we sometimes get confused. Because most women, we're waiting around until we feel ready before we want to take the leap. But the truth is that courage has to come first. And clarity comes later. So if you're dealing with that fear, it's a sign, look at it this way, it's a sign that you are about to grow, not that you should retreat. Now, your nervous system might interpret bold moves as danger. Okay, it might give you all the reasons why you should not do something because your nervous system is most interested in one thing, and that is keeping you safe. And sometimes playing it safe is also playing small. And it's why if you look around the circumstances of your life, you have been dealing with the same things over and over and over again. We have to get out of safety mode. Our soul knows that even though it's not quote unquote safe, it's expansion. And that's what we need in order to get to that next level of our lives or to get a different result that we've always been getting. I can think of many clients who ended up joining the Balanced Hormone Solution scared, but they showed up fully and they transformed not just their body, but their mindset, the whole way they view themselves and their place in this world. And it changed everything for them. So it's like how that hesitation in our voice, in that voice that is in our head, the voice of hesitation that sounds like, is this selfish? Well, what if we turned that around and we thought about it as it's actually self-honoring? Do you see the difference there? That one little shift in the meaning that we bring to that neutral thought can make a huge difference for us. And number 2, this is what's really big for me right now, is that every yes creates a whole new identity loop. So when you say yes, you're not just committing to a result. You're becoming the kind of woman that shows up for herself. When you say yes to yourself, you make a commitment. And this new woman keeps those commitments to herself. So every time you follow through, you build more evidence that you are trustworthy to yourself. You are capable. No, you don't fail at everything. And 100% you are worth it. So then the ripple effect is that you start eating differently, thinking differently, setting boundaries, prioritizing your needs. Because all of a sudden, you're a part of the equation again, and you recognize that you matter. So little tiny things like just a shift in a morning routine, or even better communication with your spouse or your family members. Even libido comes when you start to feel confident in your life again. Hormonal healing becomes easier when it comes from a place of self-worth, not punishment. We're really good at punishing ourselves. We all start a new diet on Monday morning because, dang it, we need to lose the weight. We get a little bit mad at ourselves. How did we let ourselves go again? But the best hormone healing comes from a place of love and not hate for ourselves. Now, that might sound like maybe it's a little bit extreme. But if you actually stop and listen to the stories that you tell yourself, if you have been in a deep and dark place long enough, you probably can relate with the idea that you wake up and you feel a little disgusted with where you are again. And there's shame that comes from that, with that. And it hangs around for a long time, and it looks different for everyone. But ultimately, the right thing is not to pretend like that doesn't exist, but to look at it square in the eyes and say that that shame has no place in a woman's life or mind who's healing her hormones. And she's doing so from a place of knowing that it is for her best interest. She is worth this. So that is a huge shift when we go from punishing ourselves to get the results to honoring ourselves to get the results. So number 3, saying yes, sometimes it unlocks unexpected gifts. And this is what I mean. You think you joined the Balanced Hormone Solution and you're just signing up for more energy. But by having a whole lot more energy, you get a lot more joy. It's hard to put a price tag on that one. Now, you might invest to lose some weight, fit better in your clothes. But instead, you also not just fit better in your old clothes, but you also gain boundaries and pleasure and a sisterhood you didn't know existed before. Because your yes opens doors you didn't even know were closed. You've heard that saying before, you don't know what you don't know. So when you say yes to yourself, you break down some of those barriers and you start to know more. Women in the Balanced Hormone Solution who maybe come for lab work, right? Instead, they leave with lifelong tools, this amazing ability to trust their own intuition. And on top of that, a new community and new friendships. So I have my own experience in the same way of finding more joy, more travel. My life feels more alive than I ever imagined before, every single time that I said yes to myself. So here's an idea for you. I want you to journal Or if you're driving or you're busy, right? Voice note it on your phone. Use Siri, whatever you need to do. But ask yourself this one question today. What would saying yes to myself look like right now? Is it investing in support? Taking a break? Booking the call? Saying no to something draining? We all could use a little more boundaries in our life, right? And then I want you to ask, what am I really afraid will happen? Right? What's keeping us from saying yes? What's keeping us from playing, or what's keeping us playing small from saying yes and growing? And finally, I want you to ask yourself, what might happen if I don't say yes? I'm curious about your answer. It's got to be something more than you're just going to stay the same, even though that is true. So clarity lives on the other side of curiosity, and it's important to let ourselves go there. You only get one life, and it's meant to be lived fully. You weren't meant to survive your 40s and 50s. You were meant to thrive in them. So if your soul's been whispering that it's time, then view this as your permission slip. Say yes to your body, to your healing, to the woman you're becoming. I promise she's worth it. That's it for today's episode of the Balanced Hormone Solution Podcast. If this resonated, don't just listen, do something about it. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you know another woman who's tired of feeling like a stranger in her own body, send her this way. For more support, check out the show notes. I've got resources to help you get started. Just remember, your body isn't broken. You just need the right tools. See you next time.